When you look at this lamp, what do you think? Do you think it's just a good lamp, or do you think it defies the logic of old Roblox? That makes no sense, but if you have seen old Roblox pictures or videos or even experimented with it yourself, either back then or with a launcher, you might think this looks impossible. But it isn't. I only used one script, and then I built the rest. And I'll show you how that works. So the main complex part of it, if you even call it complex, is the top, which is a circular shape looking thing with small parts that seem impossible. But they aren't if you know what a block mesh is, because yes, it exists. I used the scale function to make it smaller than a regular brick would be, and then with a script I was able to make it circular, which you can see right here. And when I press play, this is what it makes. I was able to do that is that I made like 18 parts, which I was able to do with like this little for function. And what I did is that with the math sine and cosine functions, I was able to make it a circle around a center part, which was this part right here. But with the center part, I was able to make it so the parts looked at that center part to make that sort of shape. I'm not exactly sure what it's called, but it just makes it to a shape like that. And with that, I was able to copy and paste into Studio and then make the rest. Alongside that, I used a cylinder mesh, which makes this little thing, and then the top of the shade, which was through the offset property. Because in old Roblox, you can't really move parts inside of each other without using the command line to sort of C-frame it into place, which I could have done instead, but some people just don't know Lua, and that's okay. And that shouldn't force them to not make things like this. So with the offset function, I was able to make it so the brick stays here, but the cylinder actually makes it into a concealed like roof. If I get rid of the mesh, that's where the actual brick is. And I did the exact same thing for this top cylinder, which you can see right here. But with offset, I was able to make it like right here because this part can't be inside the shell because of how big it is. And then the bottom one is also just a regular cylinder mesh, but I don't use an offset because it didn't really need it. And there's a little base part right there. And that's the entire thing with the lamp. Doesn't have a script, I could have done that, but it shows that you don't really need to know a lot to make something complex looking like this in old Roblox, which I think is pretty neat.